Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spartan from Fat to Fit. It's me, Spartan, obviously, and today we've got a deadlift day. It's been a long time since I've done one of these full workouts. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what we're doing right now. This is going to be a heavier day than we normally do with less reps. But I just wanted to get in and show you guys a little bit of my progress. It's going to be a rough day. One of the things that I've come to notice, I've only been lifting for about 6, maybe 7 months at this point, consistently. And one of the things that I've noticed about lifting is that most of it is mental. Yes, there are physical limitations that you're going to run into, but most of what you're going to experience from one gym session to the next is a mental struggle. And once you can learn to just get out of your own way, you'd be surprised what you're capable of. So with all of that being said, we're going to get into today's workout. We're going to try to explain what's going on. We'll talk about the weights that we're doing and everything along the way. And yeah, we'll just go from there. Alright, so this first set is actually our second set. We do a warm-up set at 135 just to kind of get our joints moving, but this one is just 185. There's nothing to it. It's just a straight-up warm-up set. We're going to be doing sets of 12 today, and one of the things I want you guys to focus on is watch my back. There's going to be a couple of times throughout this that we're going to see me kind of swing the weight away from my body a little bit, and that's what you got to be careful with deadlifts. Deadlifts has become one of my favorite things to do, mainly because of the fact that A, it's one of my best lifts, and B, it's actually so much more mental than it is physical. Yes, there is definitely a physical aspect to it, but I think more often for me that it comes down to a struggle. Now, we go from 185 straight up to 225 for our second set of 12, and again, we're pyramiding up because I like to warm up my body before I get into the heavy weights. 225 is solid weight, but you'll see initially you're going to see a couple of hitches here and there where I don't quite get the weight down all the way, and I just want to make sure that I'm keeping my back nice and flat. You can see my form has improved drastically on my deadlift. And there you can see I kind of leaned a little too far forward. Weight came off of my shins, and that's what you got to be careful with. It's not just about not rounding your back. Now, obviously, at 225, you'll notice that I did put some straps on. I cannot, at 225 and above for multiple reps, I lose my grip. So I like to have the straps there so that I make sure I hold my grip. Now here, we're going to be doing 275. So we've got 4 45-pound plates and 2 25-pound plates for a total of 275 pounds. And we're going to be doing this for 12 reps. Now, this used to be like my max not that long ago. And considering I've only been lifting for like 6 to 7 months consistently, I feel pretty good about where I'm at. Now, watch. Initial lift, every time I get down into my deadlift, you'll see I get into position and then I start. And see how slow it was initially? But once I get into rhythm, it's just another set. And I can do this relatively consistently. Now, watch my back. You'll see it start as I get a little bit tired. You see the shoulders are slouching forward a little bit. That's what I'm worried about. That's why I record these for my journal. This channel isn't so much a way for me to show you guys anything or anything like that. It's more about my journey for my fitness and watching myself get tired and watching my form degrade over time. It's so much easier to record these sets and go back and watch them and see, okay, at this moment, I'm already exhausted. You can see that my form is starting to slouch. But honestly, that looked pretty good. Now, here is the moment of the day. This is 315 pounds. Not long ago, this was my max. As a matter of fact, last week was the first time I ever beat this, and you guys saw the little short of me going 325 pounds for the first time. Well, this is 315, and the goal was to do, after everything we've already done, do this for reps. Watch what happens. As soon as I get into position, I do my normal routine where I get down, I'm sitting back, I'm ready to go, I'm as focused as I can, I'll stare straight ahead, I take usually 3 deep breaths, and then I go. Whatever the reason is, in this one, it just didn't go. It started to move, it looked like it was moving fine, everything looked good, but it just didn't go. Here you can see I'm trying to psych myself back up. Terry, my workout partner, is behind me. He's like, hey, come on, one more attempt. You got this. Try to get this locked in, you'll feel much better. And don't get me wrong, it was hot in the gym. And I don't know if that's it or if it's because I'm trying to get into a deficit, but watch how hard this 315 goes. But the main thing is I managed to get out of my own way and make this happen. Now, this is a hard rep. Look at me leaning forward a little bit, but I correct it, I lean back, and I lock it out. But I don't just stop there. I go ahead, I go down, I come back, and the second set, or the second rep actually felt better than the first. So I'm like, okay, we got a chance. I go for 3, and it's just not happening. My face says it all right here. I am exhausted, okay? Now, we go from deadlift straight into leg presses. And our starting set, again, we're going to be doing sets of 12 here. Our starting set is 375 pounds. It is 3 45-pound plates on either side, plus the carriage weight of 105 pounds. And my goal here, I try to get as deep as I can with each one of these and then power through it. And you can see, I make this 375 look easy. And to be honest, 375 is pretty easy for me and Terry. We've gotten into the habit of trying to do more sets and more reps rather than super heavy weights. 375 isn't that heavy for us because, I mean, we're both big guys. Terry's 6'5", I'm 6'1", I'm 237-ish, he's 230-ish. So between the two of us, we're pretty heavy. Now, we add 2 more plates on this. This is 4 plates per side for a total of 465 pounds. And this is where things start to take a jump up. Remember, jumping up in weight by 90 pounds doesn't seem like a crazy jump, but it is when you've already done deadlifts and you've already done a set of 12 and you want to do another set of 12. But watch me as I start to. I don't want to be shallow dipping. I don't know what you guys call it, but it's cheating. All right, if you're one of those people that go on the deadlift, throw 700 pounds on the deadlift, move it 2 inches for 5 reps and call it a day. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just not how you do this, okay? I know I haven't been lifting that long, and again, this isn't about trying to teach everybody how to do things because I am not an expert. I just try to go, but you can see I'm starting to get tired, but we power through. We finish the set for 12 reps. So that was 465 pounds for 12 reps. This last set, I had planned to do 4 sets and go up to 600 pounds, but sometimes you got to know your limits, guys. Some days you're going to have it, some days you're just not. Today was that day where whether it be mental, whether it be I didn't get enough sleep last night or whatever, my body just didn't want to work today. So we got in here. This is 555 pounds, okay? It is 5 plates, both sides, plus the carriage weight. Okay, so this is 555 pounds, if my math is correct. And the goal was to do 12 reps. But you're going to see pretty quickly. Watch my face, my arms, like just watch my body language as I do this. You will see that 555 pounds was too big of a jump. I should have went from what we just did, which was 465, and added a single plate and done another set. But jumping straight up to 555, we do 3. This is number 4. And you can see I'm struggling. So I just go ahead, rack it, I'm done. And that's where we're going to call the leg press for this one. And you can see the look of disappointment on my face after this. I know that I failed myself. And that's the hardest thing about lifting for me, is getting into those situations where you want to push yourself harder, and yet your body is just like, one day it's fine, and the next it's just not. But here, you're going to see one of my least favorite exercises on a deadlift day, which is the T-bar row. I've tried to keep up with Terry on this, and part of it's ego lifting, but part of it's also just forcing myself to get better and get stronger. I do not do these correctly in terms of like overall form. I'm standing way too high. I should be more of a squatted down, bent over, and pulling it up rather than pulling it back. And I know that's one thing that I need to work on is the T-bar row. But I just know that one of the things about working out with a workout partner is you tend to ego lift a little bit too much. And I'm in that situation. Terry is stronger than I am in just about every lift. Okay, deadlift is one of the few that I'm like right there with him. Squats, another one where I'm right there with him. But everything else, like any upper body exercise, any sort of like shoulder shrugs or anything like that, generally he is going to beat me. And yet I keep challenging myself to try to improve. And this is where you got to be careful because you're going to hurt yourself. And again, one of the things that I like to try to point out when I'm doing these videos is that I am inexperienced. I have only been lifting since November. So it is currently just now starting June. So it's been 6 to 7 months of solid 4 days a week lifting. Rarely do we miss a day of lifting. It's almost always 4 days a week in the gym. We've got a pretty set routine. We mix it up on occasion, trying to make sure that we keep ourselves fresh, keep ourselves working different muscles, trying different exercises so that it doesn't get stale and feel like work. I enjoy working out, and I never used to. Like, I never thought I would ever get to a point where I enjoy it, but I truly do enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge, I enjoy the mental aspect, and just the release of being able to just kind of get all of the problems out of your day. You know what I mean? For the 2 hours that you're in the gym, it just you don't have to worry about everything else. And you can see this last set, man, I am struggling. I am standing almost straight up at this point. I'm not squatting down really. I am trying to use my arms to pull it towards me, but at this point, my arms are complete jello, and you can see I know I'm cheating. It's a struggle. But sometimes you got to struggle through those reps. And here we're going to start on the hip thrust. This will be the last thing you guys see for our workout. The hip thrust, we started at 225 today for 12 reps. And hip thrust is one of my favorite exercises because it's so perfect for targeting your glutes. I love to feel the burn in my glutes. I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, I'm weird, I don't know. I love to feel my glutes burning. And this exercise in particular is one of those exercises that just really guarantee that you target your glutes. There's not really a whole else lot about it. You put the weight on, you roll it back to your hips, and then you use nothing but your hips to throw that weight up there. And 225 felt pretty solid, so we jump up to 275 again. You'll notice a lot of our numbers are very similar here. But again, my routine for each lift is the same. Like I get myself clear. I try to like get out of my own head, and then once I roll the weight up, it's game time, right? Get the hair out of the way. I try to tie my hair back, but it always ends up in the way anyway. But lean back, thrust forward, and then situate yourself and get into a rhythm. Once you're in the rhythm, like, it's not too bad. You'll see here that one of the things that I don't really like is when I'm lifting with Terry, he uses this pad, and I understand why he does, but this pad just constantly wants me to, like, make me fall off this bench, and I always feel like I'm going to, like, slip off of it. So you'll see me constantly adjusting my shoulders to try to, like, stay on the bench. And yeah, it's distracting. It makes the lifts a little bit more difficult because I'm constantly adjusting myself, so I'm holding the weights longer than I probably should. But we knock out a second set for 12 reps, and then we go up to 315. And the goal here is to get as many reps as I can get. If I can get to 12, awesome. If not, I just want to get as many reps as I can. And you'll see here that we end up knocking out 8 reps. Which is pretty solid. 315 at 8 reps on this. We just recently added the hip thrusts back in. We had them out of our routine for a while, doing some other exercises. But I like to try to throw, have a little bit of a rotation. You know what I mean? I don't do all of the exercises every time. We have a little bit of a rotation on different days where we mix up a few exercises here and there for a month or two, and then we swap back and do our other rotation. But you can see, honestly, this felt a lot heavier than it was, but again, I think the main thing was I was exhausted. Like, I legitimately, by the time I got to this point, was so exhausted. And you can see I was thinking about going back up for a couple more reps, and I just put it down and said, we're done. We're done. Sometimes you got to know when you're done. And we were definitely done in that moment. So I appreciate everybody who's stuck around. I know I don't upload to this channel very often. I try to upload like small little shorts and stuff for you guys to check out to monitor our progress. But overall, occasionally I do upload these full workouts for you guys, just to mostly for me, so I can journal my progress, so I can check my form as I get tired. My form on my deadlifts has gotten way better than it used to. I'm pretty happy overall with how everything went today, despite having a few setbacks. We're doing good, and you can definitely tell in the 6 months plus that I've been lifting, there has been steady progress the entire way. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me on my journey. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.